So I had a strange experience yesterday.
Okay. Oh no.
Um, I was out for quite a while, and when I got home, there was an unfamiliar car out the front. And I walked into my front garden, and there was a lot of pigeons that I'd never seen before.
Uh, so what? Sorry, what? What does the car have to do with the pigeon?
I assume, I assume they came from it somehow.
No, you need to explain this situation more. You can't just say that. That was that the whole thing.
That was it. I just wanted to share that.
What? That was it.
That was the whole
What?
thing.
So your thing is that you came home, there was a car you've never seen, and also some pigeons.
That I had never seen, and they don't usually congregate in that area.
Okay.
I think there's a correlation.
I think you're an idiot, but
You
I
think-
think you need to tell me the lay of the land right now, of like, where was this car that made it feel strange, and where were the pigeons in relation to that car?
The car was in the
For you to
parking
make the
space
connection.
directly outside the front of the house,
Okay.
and the pigeons were directly in the path from the car to the front door. In a fenced
Wait, in
off
like a row?
front garden.
To your house.
Yeah. I was coming home, I walked into the front garden, they all looked at me and then flew away.
When you got into your house, was there any person in there that's like that car?
No.
Who could have owned that car?
No, I've
I
been
think this is
I've
a
been
dream.
alone for the whole week.
I think this is a fucking dream. There's
No.
absolutely no way.
No, this is fun. I was gonna tweet it yesterday, then I thought, no, I'll tell you guys about it first.
Well, thank
Oh,
you
cheers,
so
mate.
much. It's really appreciated.
You know, just for
Fuck's sake.
you know, you just get a peek. You get a preview.
The
of the
story
good
would
stuff.
only be interesting if you called an Uber and the Uber pulled up and there was a pigeon in a tuxedo driving the car. That would be interesting.
There's no connection between the
This
car
was
and
not
the pigeon.
interesting.
No, what? Both were unfamiliar. Both were very close together.
You're a fucking moron.
Okay, when you get louder, I can hear you through both. So that
How are you
noise you
listening
just
to
made.
both?
He's got two pairs of headphones on.
You've got two separate headphones.
Yeah, and then
one
a
for me,
set,
one for Liam.
and then a microphone.
Yeah.
You look like some weird techie hacker kid.
He is the
from
cyber boy right now.
2000s.
I
you
mean-
look like you're gonna hack NASA.
Yeah, you know, I've got one big boy here. I've got a little Bluetooth one in my ear.
Jesus.
You're
I
on,
guess, yeah, if this does make it into the show, then some context that Seb isn't actually here with us right now. We're doing this link over Skype because he is in a different city at the moment.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a bit of an operation. There's lots of phones and screens and cables
We're
and
trying
microphones.
something out. It should work.
it would be a lot easier if I didn't have to look at you both.
Well, no,
Can't you
that's
just have one eye on me and one eye on Liam?
what, just split his eyes
Yeah,
like Pennywise.
just outward. Or maybe across, if that's easier.
Just sit cross-eyed for an hour, mate.
Something that did pass my mind about 3 minutes ago was, oh, but I need a screen for Liam. And then I remembered
here.
that you're
I'm in the
literally
flesh
sat
world with you.
opposite me.
Could you just put a full size monitor in front of him, but with him on it for you?
Of me.
just a frame, so you look like you're in on a monitor.
Well, welcome to Forever in Bloom. This is a exploration, celebration, and investigation into Jeff Goldblum.
Can't
this is
believe you
episode
did it
8.
wrong.
I didn't do it wrong. Fuck you.
You guys say it different every time.
Yeah, it's like water, man. It's fluid. It's just got to come off natural, like a horse's sneeze.
Do they?
This is
Do they?
episode 8. But what?
Do they sneeze?
Have you heard a horse sneeze?
Horses do sneeze if they smell some bad hay.
Do
I've
they?
never heard one.
Yeah.
Bad hay.
Yeah, if
What's
horses
bad
smell
hay? Bad hay.
hay, that- hay that's gone off.
What?
If it's hay that's not
Hay
good
doesn't
hay
go
for
off,
them
it's
to
just-
eat.
Hay has gone off grass, isn't it?
No, it's dried grass.
So
Well,
dried
not just
stuff
grass.
can't
it's
go off,
it's
can
big
it?
grass. What's big grass, Seb?
It's grass.
Is it just big grass?
but not normal grass that you get like in
It's thick.
yeah. It's like straw, like straw.
Yeah, that's hay. If that's irrelevant. If they
Hay
smell
and
bad hay,
hay
they
and
sneeze. They
straw
don't like it.
different.
It's like when we smell pepper. There's something in it that fucks them up.
A hay and straw, the same thing.
I think so.
Wait, no. Have you ever heard one snore? I've never sneeze.
Yes,
No,
that's
that's just a
not them
regular
sneezing.
noise they make.
but they do sneeze. It's that, but more. I'm not a full horse.
You're right. You're
not a
right. You're
full
not a full
horse.
horse.
This is episode 8 and film 14, which is wild. We're 14 films in now.
Wow.
The Right Stuff from 1983, directed by Philip Kaufman.
Who also did Invasion of the Body
Yeah,
Snatchers.
he directed Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're
I didn't
noticing
put
themes
those
now
together.
with. Yeah. Okay, I think it explains a lot in terms of Jeff's career progression,
Yeah.
because obviously directors begin to like you, and then
They did
you
that with
get more
the dude that did
opportunities.
both Charles Bronson films. He was on in those.
Yeah.
So I think, he
Yeah.
definitely finds people that like to work with him. This guy also wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark as well, and a bunch of the other.
Oh, of course he did.
Things,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're proper stalkers, aren't we?
It comes with the job, doesn't it, mate?
What's your job? I'm a professional stalker.
Yeah, that's all podcasts are.
Beth,
Stalking
what's your
Jeff.
definition of
Stalking.
stalking?
Yeah, I'm just on IMDb.
Oh yeah, actually, it's public information, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jeff plays. He's actually just listed as recruiter.
Recruiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no name. I do believe seeing that beforehand meant that I knew he wasn't going to be in this film very much. Because he didn't have
So we're
a
kind
name.
of taken a step back now, haven't we? Because we start the first 8 films, he had
It's a
roles
bit
like
more
this.
like that.
And he's had a lot bigger roles in the between films. And now he's gone back.
Yeah,
a step.
to be honest, that was like I really wanted more of him and whoever the other dude was. The 2 recruiters, they were like some of the funniest like comedy relief in this film. But yeah, the film Right Stuff, I guess, is what? Fuck it, Seb. What's it about?
So The Right Stuff is a film about multiple breakthroughs in aviation technology. From breaking the sound barrier to getting a human into space for the first time to orbiting space for the first time.
Are you reading straight off Wikipedia?
No, I'm Beth. I'm actually looking directly
Are you-
for ARM.
I see some dodgy eye action there. Some
yeah, that's-
darting around of the eyes. Oh, are you looking at Liam?
Okay,
sorry.
so I'm looking at
I thought you were
and
like
then
reading off something.
I'm looking at Liam. And then I
About the Mercury 7, isn't it? It's like the Mercury 7
Yeah.
is like the 7 pilots that were trying to go for the first like orbits around the planet.
we should point out the first American pilots.
Yeah.
A huge part of this film is the America v Russia, sort of like
Space race.
space race, Cold War stuff. Just straight off the top, how do you two feel about this film?
Long, man. It's too long. The film is too long.
Yeah, it is 3 hours and 12 minutes too long.
Yeah. At 32 minutes, I wrote a note saying this film doesn't need to be 3 hours. And I could just predict that, and I still believe that wholeheartedly now.
Yeah, completely. It was a long old ride, and I felt like I should have enjoyed it because I love films that explore space travel and science. I love films like that, but I felt like this film was just so fucking long.
You could cut out so much of this film, and it would be infinitely better.
Yeah. I mean, I really quite liked it. I had a good time.
Sure.
But I do think it could be half the length. I think it's just every single shot was held longer than it needed to be.
Yes. There were some really nice shots that looked a bit.
Oh, no, it was shot nicely.
2001 Space Odyssey kind of thing.
Yeah.
With like them in the actual capsules, they look pretty cool.
Yeah, there's constant like introspective shots of them behind the helmets,
Yeah.
as alongside other storylines which you dipped in and out of, which kind of helped to create parallels between like the total like innerness that they were feeling, and then like this like much bigger story. And I kind of felt like the whole storyline surrounding their partners was a bit kind of pointless.
Yeah, big time.
Because I don't know what they were trying to say. Like it showed all their wives talking about their experience of being married to pilots
Yeah.
with a super high risk career.
This is past the Bechdel test.
No, because they
Yeah.
talk about
I think they
men the
just talk about-
whole
the guys,
time.
the pilots.
Any time that a woman's on screen, she's talking about a man or she's talking to a man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. It might as well have just not been in there.
Yeah, they were kind of just pointless storylines of just being like kind of played as like annoying anchors for the men to deal with, you know?
Yeah.
Which was not the
Yeah, and they
best.
seemed kind of fed up and pissed off of their wives, didn't they? They were like,
Apart from one of them, I can't remember which one it was, because all the
John Glenn.
John Glenn.
Whose wife,
did you just say
oh God,
they all
oh
look the
God,
same?
Beth,
Because
you've
I
fallen.
had oh shit. So I had this exact thought when I was like halfway through the film, and I was like, all of these like middle-aged white men are just merging into one.
Yeah.
It might as well just be one man, because I can't differentiate between any of them.
Like
they
the
all
fact
just
that there
look
was
like the same
7 men,
person.
that is a lie. There was 3.
I can think of 2 faces,
I think
two faces.
I can maybe.
No, I've only written
name
down 4 people, I think. Yeah, I've written down 4 people. So you got Chuck Yeager, this is all based off real people as well.
Yeah, I thought it might be. Yeah.
So Chuck Yeager was played by Sam Shepard. You had Alan Shepard, who was played. Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
2 shepherds.
The last names shift. So you've got
Yeah.
Chuck Yeager played by Sam Shepard. Alan Shepard is played by Scott Glenn. Then John Glenn is played by Ed Harris.
Did you know?
Oh, and Gordon Hopper is Dennis Quaid.
I see the whole film. I was like, I
way
recognize
round.
that guy's face, and then afterwards I was like, Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
But did you know that the real Chuck
Yeah.
Yeager is in this film?
Yeah, he's in the bar scene
Yeah.
early on, isn't he? Just like drinking a pint.
Yeah,
Oh, a little cameo.
Yeah, he's just sat in
classic.
there. Like there's like a couple of seconds of a shot on him, like 5 seconds. But
Yeah.
that's the real Chuck Yeager.
yeah.
And he said about his cameo that he was happy that it was in a pub, because he said if you add it all up, he definitely spent more time in a pub than the cockpit in his life.
In his life.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't you, with that type of stressful
Yeah.
job?
And all of them just got fucking licked all the time.
Why
mate.
the fuck does anyone want to be an astronaut? Why the
Cool.
fuck? I mean, it's cool, but I think it's the last job I would want to do.
I mean, I guess I was saying this to a housemate this morning when I was watching the film, that something you do forget about all the glory of like astronauts, they are just wearing big diapers and shitting and pissing themselves all the time.
It's true. And
Yeah.
floating around. I'm in shitty piss diapers.
Bouncing about.
I mean, I obviously I have so much respect for people that have the courage to do that, and
Yeah,
I think it's
it's an awesome
amazing.
job,
And
yeah.
obviously, only a very specific few people in the world who could be put in that situation.
I could fucking
just
do
can't understand why anyone would want to do it.
I think if I was in the position that I would be able to do that, and I didn't care about any of the other stuff that I do,
Yeah.
that was put it in a bad way. I could see the appeal of doing that, going into space and seeing some cool bits, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, it would be amazing once you're up there, but it's all the shit that's getting up there.
Yeah,
That's
true.
the hard bit.
mean-
It had some parallels to First Man, if you've seen that.
I haven't actually seen that yet.
Oh,
I've
great
not
film.
seen that.
I got some
Oh.
2001 vibes.
Tough
from a couple
crowd.
of bits. What were you gonna say, Seb?
The film really made me question how I feel about space flight and travel.
Okay.
Which is that I've always been a huge sci-fi fan. I think it's great. I love
Mhm.
the cool space stuff that happens. But I do hate capitalism. And it's making me think nowadays of, I mean, obviously everything with Elon Musk and SpaceX and
Yeah.
all of these
And
things.
Bezos launching his own space program as well.
Yeah, and the fact that the planet is dying, all these things.
That's
You mean
true,
because it's tied in with like fundamentally just needing money pumped into it,
Yeah.
even though it's obviously supposed to be for the good of humanity and
Yeah.
like, an achievement for us all, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's one of the running themes throughout this film is them needing the press to say good things so that they keep getting funded.
Yeah.
Which actually, completely on a side note, one of my favourite running gags throughout this entire film was how dedicated the paparazzi were to getting some of these shots. Like, I distinctly remember a scene when they were, like, climbing over garden fences and, like...
Yeah, and just
yeah.
some of the ADR in this film in those scenes, man, were fucking wild. Like you would have
Oh, yeah.
a crowd full of people, and it just sounds like 4 people in a room, like, "Go on, Glenn." It's so bad.
I wish listeners could have seen Liam's face just now as he did that clapping thing.
I've got a good quote here that I liked. It was when Chuck Yeager was going to try and break the sound barrier for the first time early on, and he'd like hurt his ribs from getting like smashed off a horse in the last scene. The guy gives him this snapped off or like sawn off broom handle to shut the door with it, and he just says,
"Stick this in the handle. Take your good arm and just whang it down." Okay, thanks, buddy.
Whang it down.
There's actually a really good couple of quotes in this film. That's mostly what my notes are. But also one of those things right at the beginning that was when I knew what kind of film it was once he's broken the sound barrier, there's that journalist who's running to the phone to do it. And I can't remember his name, but the major's name... the major is saying, oh, you can't share this yet because other people will be trying to do it. And that reporter is just shouting, "This is big news," in such a strange... His delivery of it was one of the wildest sentences I have ever heard on screen.
The press. This is big news. Sound barrier's finally been broken.
No, sir. No press.
What? What's going on here? This is big news. We need coverage of this.
No, sir. Sorry.
It's very much like was he like a director's son that was just getting a role?
Just chucked in,
Yeah. Oh,
It's
it
one of
made me
those
so
weird-
happy.
It's one of those weird things that only happens in films. It never happens in real life. Like paparazzi, like physically willing to like clamber over shit and put their lives on the line to try and get a story.
And
I
was
just
he in a
don't think that
military
happens.
base as well?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was part of that. I can't really remember. This film was so long.
I think like press in general is managed in a much more sophisticated way in real life.
Yeah.
Like you have organised, press.
yeah.
You don't just have.
There is still like freelance paparazzi though that will just fucking go anywhere and jump all over
Yeah.
people and fuck with people's lives.
Yeah.
But there's the fact that this film spans like 20 years and no one fucking ages.
No one ages at all.
Does it span 20 years?
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
years?
Like the first scene is in like 1947 and then it goes on to like the 60s.
Of
And
course,
it's like,
yeah.
they
Yeah,
look
no one ages.
exactly the same.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
I
That
think
is
it's
a really good
47 to
point.
63.
Also, something I found quite funny was the spacesuit costumes, awesome, that they had were made from leftover silver cloth and materials from Cher's stage costumes.
Wow.
That's very good.
They must have had a big budget though.
Yeah, I don't think it was huge.
Did you know it flopped?
Did it?
Yeah.
I was going to say I thought this would have been huge in its
It was
day.
because it was such an epic, and I think it did. I think 20 million or something, somewhere around that figure.
Yeah.
But it didn't do very well at all in the cinema.
Right.
It
Yeah.
got really good reviews. I was just reading up that it didn't do well in box office, but
right,
then
yeah.
one of those
Interesting.
things, slow burner afterwards, got all of this acclaim. It probably just did badly in cinemas because it was so long and people
Yeah.
you know what fucking people are like. They
Yeah.
thought 3 hours in a cinema without fucking two meals.
That's
and
the
a
reason I
toilet.
still haven't watched The Irishman, is because it's really long.
You know what? Eating in the cinema actually really fucks me off.
Really?
Why do you need? It's 2 hours of your life. Why do you need to sit
Oh man,
there
you're talking to the wrong dude.
chomping
I took
through-
a fucking pad thai in last time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the cinema with you.
I always...
What?
My goal is, I've talked to Seb a lot about this, to be able to take in a whole roast dinner in a trench coat. So I would have like Ziploc Sealy bags, and I could put like all the components of roast veg and potatoes and Yorkshire puddings all in their individual things, and then have another one of gravy and then a plate. Just tip off the corner of the gravy bag and pipe it out once I've got everything on the plate. That's a fucking dream,
Oh
mate.
man, would you have a roast chicken in a back pocket?
I mean,
Oh no, you're a vegetarian.
No, it's a vegetarian.
Yeah,
but
veggie roast.
yeah, I go for a veggie. Yeah, straight up. That is my dream.
Where are you going to put the plate?
You can get like, lap, butt,
Lap butt.
But
or butt.
Oh right,
Okay.
my lap butt.
My lap only exists when I sit down, so that's not going to
Where's
work.
the knife and fork going? Where's the napkin going?
Pockets, all in the
Pockets.
trench coat, mate. All
Oh, okay.
inside.
So you got a big old trench coat. You
A
got like
customised
zip
trench coat,
tied
yeah.
plastic bags.
Yes.
With all your
Your roast accoutrement.
Yeah. And then you get in there. You got a pair of scissors as well that you pull out from your.
Easy.
Yeah, just
arse
like a little
back
bit
or
of
somewhere.
nail scissors, just to snip off the end of the bag for a piping gravy.
And then you sit down, and you wait till the lights go down.
Mm-hmm.
The sound comes up, and then you fucking whack out the plate, and you plate up yourself a nice big roast.
Yeah,
And you chomp down on a roast
Yeah.
while watching The Irishman,
yeah.
yeah.
and then you sit there farting and burping.
I mean,
That's disgusting. Liam.
you took that further than I would.
I would not even be in that cinema.
Oh, mate. Seb and I took
I was I
Five
knew-
Guys fries into the cinema.
Knew you were going to say
When
this.
we went like a few months ago, and I mean, especially when you get the spicy one or the seasoned ones, they're like they fucking stink. And Seb opened the bag that the bags were in, and a dude like other end of the cinema, we just heard him go, "I smell Five Guys fries."
That's a good old nose.
He had a honker on him, mate. He really did.
I once moved seats because I was sat next to a friend who was eating popcorn. I moved seats because it was pissing me
that's
off.
what it's meant to
I
be.
know that's the most conventional cinema snack, and I moved
No, I
because
hate
it
popcorn.
fucked me off.
How do you feel about someone sitting with a pad thai?
I would not be.
I'm a silent eater to an extent.
Silent eat. That's so weird.
It's not weird.
I'm a silent eater.
Well, not silent, but it's drowned out by a big loud film.
I mean, it depends what you're seeing, I guess. But to be fair, we took the anyway.
Does depend.
I kept thinking that I wanted.
Sorry. I would. Okay, to sum up, to conclude, I would maybe see a really loud, like abrupt disaster movie with you if you were eating some soothers. Maybe.
Soothers.
That is the
but
limit.
That's proper lip smacking
Anything-
territory, mate.
No, soothers are silent. That's why
No,
they're
you're
called
not.
silent
You're sucking
soothers.
on them all day long, mate.
What do you mean?
How loud do
Soother.
you?
They're
How loud do you
silent.
suck on them?
Soother is not a silent sweet.
It's pretty quiet.
No, yeah,
Like,
no.
There are
there's
many more quiet
soothers.
foods.
They're for people that have lost their voice. They're
Yeah, but-
quiet.
That doesn't stop your jaw strength.
This is a very strange territory we're getting.
Yeah, so I kept thinking about Jeff in this film whenever he was in it, which wasn't for long. Because he was in a suit for a bit of it. I was like, I just really, really wish that we were in a universe where Jeff Goldblum was in Men in Black.
Oh my god.
Men in Black.
If
Yeah.
only.
I haven't actually seen Men in Black.
Okay,
Sorry,
well, this
Beth.
is for Seb then, because he's had.
Sorry, I know.
Oh
I know
no.
that's-
If,
That's insane. I mean, they're not great, but I would love to see Jeff in a Men in Black.
oh, he would do so well.
We've seen
maybe,
him in a lot of suits.
Maybe. There is a new one coming.
No, it's already come.
What?
It's come and gone, and it was bad.
Okay. Cool. Good.
Really bad.
I'm not going to watch that.
There's a good running joke in this thing of Gordon Cooper, who's Dennis Quaid's character, like always falling asleep. Like he falls asleep in the
Oh yeah.
the first G-force test, and then when he's in orbit, and it's basically because his character Gordon Cooper was actually the first man to fall asleep in orbit.
Oh, so
First
that's what
American,
they've done.
yeah.
They've taken they've plucked nuggets of truth and then they've injected them into the film, but in a slightly surreal way. Because there was a few things
It's
that
like a
happened.
dramatization for sure.
Proper
but,
dramatization, yeah.
It's all based on the truths.
I find that with a lot of films about space travel is what the only thing that annoys me about them is you don't know what's true and what's
Yeah, I mean,
false.
there's probably so much thing around these guys in the Mercury 7 that you could probably cross-reference all of this. I just didn't have enough time, but I did a bit of it. Like I know that when Alan Shepard, who is Scott Glenn's character, who is Seb, you may know as Styx from Daredevil.
Ah. Oh god, I'm getting another phone call. What am I supposed to do? I don't have anything to answer it on.
Seb just dramatically tore out one of his headphones.
I'm
in
just
a
gonna.
panic.
I'm just gonna leave it.
Cancel it.
So I there was a lot of things I liked about this film, but I actually thought the script was the weakest part.
Pretty whack.
Absolutely.
It felt like they'd put a load of generic film scripts into a computer and asked it to write a space
Like the
film.
AI thing, yeah.
Yeah, it felt like an AI had written what they think humans would sound like.
Yeah. It's really strange.
And it just, tons of unneeded exposition and cheesiness. And the worst line I think in the whole film was, "Sounds dangerous. I'm in."
Yeah.
Just cringy.
Oh,
as
yeah.
fuck.
So, yeah, what did you give this for True Bloom then? Because we haven't really got much to go off.
I gave it, you'll probably think this is high, I gave it a 5.
I
because
also gave it a
3.
5.
there's something about Jeff Goldblum that really did shine through this role because he had such a small role, but he was the only one that I actually
Yeah.
remembered.
some
Obviously,
charm.
we do have this rapport with him,
Of course,
obviously, you know.
Oh.
But, well, he doesn't know we exist, but, we know he exists. We're stalkers. I think there was one funny moment where I don't know why it happens. There was random bits of quite funny bits.
Yeah,
that
there
came,
was some good jokes in this
yeah,
one.
yeah. There's one that he really is the star of where he's running somewhere dramatically. And he's got this big thing of news he needs to report back. And then he runs into the office, opens the door and goes, and he reveals this piece of news and they just go, "We know, sit down."
Yeah,
It's
I
really
think that
funny.
happens 3 or 4 times throughout the film.
Oh, does it? Oh, I only
Yeah.
clocked it once.
There's
Oh.
also when he's on the boat, which I think is their
yeah.
last scene, and him and his partner are just throwing up something vicious like over the side of the boat, and then the people come over and they're just coming like trying to be as professional as possible, and like Jeff has got like vomit all down the side of his face. I needed that was like my one change in this. I needed more of these two, man. They were like the best like comedy duo in this. They had like this charm about them.
Yeah.
But I did only give it 3 because I saw him throwing up and I was like, he's got a weak constitution, mate. That's not my Jeff.
Do you think it's a strong constitution?
Yeah.
I think he might be indestructible.
I think he's a boat dude. Not a boat dude, but I think you get him on a boat and he's comfy, you know?
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I can't think
I
of
think
him on
Jeff
a boat.
would look at home on a boat.
Yeah, actually, he would rock a boat, wouldn't he? He'd have a boat. You'd have a couple of boats.
Of course.
Yeah.
Whether he has them or not, I just think it's smash.
He would have.
I'm going to reserve my
he'd
boat
smash it.
judgment until I see him on a boat.
Okay, fair enough.
Currently,
He hasn't
my
done
only
any like
boat-
major boat films, has he? I can't think of
You know
one.
what?
I mean,
while,
he has.
While we're on the Jeff.
He has actually.
Has he? What film?
The Life Aquatic. He's a ship captain.
Oh yeah!
I still haven't
my
seen that.
god! Of course, you haven't seen it. Oh my lordy lord!
So,
It's my favourite Wes film.
We'll get there in like 6 years at this rate.
It was a bit like tonally confused, this
Yeah.
film. It didn't really know. Some points were really tense, and like they'll build up
Yeah.
loads of tension, then just throw it straight into the toilet.
There was
like
there was no payoff for any of the tension in this film
no,
at
not
all.
at all.
Well, that final scene. Do you not think that was not the payoff? I felt like the whole film was geared towards that
What,
final.
of them doing it.
Of him tumbling down into the earth.
Oh, fucking Chuck Yeager.
Yeah.
The guy
When he
who's like,
tried
I've
to-
never even been up there. He's like, I've got free lunches all across America, and I haven't even
Yeah.
been up in a ship yet. And then
Yeah.
he just randomly goes up.
Yeah, he uses like a
Beth, those
modified
are
jet fighter.
those are
whatever.
different people.
What?
Those
Completely different people. Chuck Yeager's
It's
like
because they're all the same
I know,
person.
Chuck
They all
Yeager-
merged into one person. I'm telling you, there is one
they-
actor in this film. He plays all the roles and he does everything. He has all the lines. I swear to God. Old white men, they
amazing.
all look the same, I swear to
these
God.
are all middle-aged white men, but they all do look the same. So, I felt like we're not going to have enough. I felt this wasn't going to be enough like of a Jeff heavy episode. Because Seb, how long's he in this for? By the way, what's the count?
so for this one I also worked out a percentage.
Okay.
Wow.
But he's in it for 6% of the film.
Wow. Fuck all.
Which is roughly 11 minutes.
Of 3 hours. Oi.
So the film is 3 hours and 12 or 13 minutes. He's in it for 11.
Yeah. That's wild. Because, yes, what, you said 11 minutes, so he's not in it for that long. So what I
No.
did was I went and figured out and checked some facts about Jeff, and I've made you two a Jeff quiz
Oh, great.
Oh,
of
yes.
3 questions.
I
So
love
we get
a quiz.
give the people what they want. They want more Jeff.
Sick.
So, you two, if you are ready,
Always.
Okay.
the
ready.
first question. Which of these jobs did Jeff have before he dived completely into acting? Was it A, a waiter, B, a pencil salesman, or C, a yoga instructor?
Wow. Waiter is so cliche. Like it's the most cliche. I've never met a waiter that doesn't want to be an actor.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a lie.
That's one of the truest things I've ever heard.
Pencil seller, plausible. Kind of weirdly
Extremely
plausible.
specific.
Or
Very
yoga instructor?
specific. Or yoga instructor. I mean, yoga and acting, I think, share some similarities because it's all about using your body as a tool and an instrument.
And he's in pretty good shape all the time.
He is in banging shape.
I've never seen him be bendy, though.
You know that man bends.
I
I
don't.
reckon he bends.
You've seen him move. You've seen how he moves.
He is very fluid. Yeah.
In the same way we can imagine him on a boat, I can imagine him doing yoga.
So, what are your
I
answers?
think I'm
A,
going
waiter,
pencil
B,
salesman.
pencil salesman, C, yoga instructor.
You're going pencil salesman.
Absolutely. It's got Jeff written all over it.
I'm gonna go yoga.
Gonna go yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to write down what people are going for. So, Beth. So I can tell you that he wasn't a waiter,
Nice.
and he was not a yoga instructor.
I knew it.
He was a pencil salesman.
Oh my god. Okay, I need more details.
Specifically to prisons as well.
What?
Very strange.
Wait, what?
Like,
Prisons.
Yeah.
The prisons need pencils.
Yep.
What?
That's Jeff. Question 2.
No, I need
which of these business ventures?
No, I need to know more.
I didn't read any more.
Was it a
That's all I
company or
fucking
was
need.
it like his own business or like did he make the pencils?
That's all I
or...
needed to know, man. I'm just here to make the quiz. I'm not here to spread the
Oh,
knowledge.
for fuck's sake.
Which of these business ventures did Jeff partake in?
Pencil selling.
Was it A, an acting school?
A what?
An acting school.
Okay.
B, a custom clothing company? Or C, an ice cream shop?
Was this before he was an actor as well?
No,
No.
no,
No.
no.
This was during and
Just-
after.
just-
No, not after. He's
Just
still
in
an
Jeff's
actor.
life.
2 of them seem plausible to me because he's a very
A,
fashionable
acting
gentleman.
school. B, custom clothing company. Or C, ice cream.
I feel like acting school is tantamount to the waiter one,
Hmm.
so it's probably not that one. Because that's like the boring cliche option.
Hmm.
And then what were the others? Sorry.
Custom clothing company and ice cream shop.
I'm gonna go ice cream.
I'm gonna go clothing.
Wacky ice cream.
I feel like he's made some good
Beth,
jackets.
you've gone ice cream. You're both wrong.
Oh.
Wow.
He opened an acting school
I mean, that makes so
called
much
Playhouse
sense.
West
We
in
couldn't
LA
have gone for the one that makes
in
sense.
1981, which was 2 years before this film.
Interesting.
Wait, so he'd set up an acting school before he'd even
Yeah,
been in The Fly?
yeah.
Like he'd already set up an acting
Dude,
school?
Tell you, man, he's immortal. He fucking knew
He
what
is
was
a
going on.
beast.
Because he's not living the timeline as we are. He knew what was coming.
So he jumps around time, setting up acting schools and selling pencils to prisons.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Pretty much.
And for the
What have I done with my life? Nothing. I've done nothing, literally nothing.
for the final question of this Jeff quiz, in an interview with GQ in 2017, what colour did Jeff say his poop was after a juice cleanse? Was it A, purple, B, orange, or C, green?
So I know that
Green
I've seen
is-
this
is,
interview,
again, is the waiter option, but
Oh,
then
you
last
have?
time we had it.
but I can't remember it.
I might play it safe. I might play it
Purple,
safe and
orange,
go
or
green.
green?
I might go green because they
Orange.
make you drink like spirulina, don't they? That
Beth,
kind
you're
of
going
shit.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah? And
Orange.
Seb, you're...
Orange, 100%.
Orange.
Citrus all the way. It's purple,
His
wasn't it?
poop was orange.
Okay,
Orange.
fantastic.
Him and his first wife used to take juice blenders onto aeroplanes, and
Seems
he did like
illegal.
a carrot juice cleanse for a week until he shat orange, and then he would stop.
Oh my god.
So,
Is that healthy for you though? Is that actually good?
who fucking knows, man? Apparently, he doesn't do that anymore. He's on a very different health tip now. Then let's just tally up. Seb, you got 2 right.
Thank you.
And Beth, you didn't get any right.
I knew it. I knew it. I'm shit at quizzes. I am actually so bad.
Well, yeah, that was just for a special injection of Jeff.
Thanks for
Thanks.
that.
Before we carry on, I am literally going to piss myself.
Lovely.
So sorry.
Lovely.
Liam, you do this.
Seb, I'm going to
bladder.
take you with me so you can hear me.
No, please don't take me with you.
We didn't do enjoyability. Oh.
Craft.
Oh.
What did we give it on Craft?
Okay. I actually gave it a 7 because I thought it was actually made quite well.
I get it a 5 because the sound at points is bad. Like,
We
really
say this
bad.
with every film. I'm starting to think that it's just us watching old films on shitty links. Do you know what I mean?
There's films at this age that are good, but it's not just about like the quality of the audio if it's been degraded or something. It's like some of the sound design and the Foley and
Yeah.
like the ADR especially is so
Mm.
bad. Like there's that scene where Chuck Yeager and his wife are fucking around on horses when he gets like yeeted off the horse.
So good.
They're in like this massive open field and they're super wide shots and it just literally sounds like they're in like a bathroom
Yeah.
and it's like really close and it just sounds awful. And that's not a product of the time because there are other films like 20 years older than this that do that better, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sound wasn't great, but I did give it a 7 because I liked the way it was shot quite a lot. And I think the editing was
Yeah.
really good as well. The fact that they kept switching to like square format, black and white instructional videos, like news things.
Oh, as if
for-
when it was on TV and stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was actually really nice.
No, I mean, that's why I gave it
Yeah.
a 5. I did actually originally have it lower, but then I really enjoyed the shots, so I
Yeah,
kind of
fair.
fucked it up a little.
Yeah, the editing was a highlight actually for me. It was quite clever.
Yeah, so enjoyability then. I gave it 4 out of 10.
Snap.
Snap.
Gave it a 4.
Greb, what'd you give it?
I gave it a 7.
7?
7!
Fuck me, man.
I had a good time.
7!
Fair enough.
I
Fair enough.
genuinely had like a pretty good time in this film.
Like, there were some really funny bits, and there was, like, looking back on some of the jokes and some of the moments between them, they were great. But it's just in between that, it just dragged for me.
Yeah, and the characters weren't particularly engaging. It wasn't particularly like it didn't feel like a journey, despite it covering 20 years of these people's lives. I felt like we were in the same place at the end as we started with. I really didn't get a sense of any progression or any character development. All the guys were just the same people at the end of the film, which I think has really let it down.
There was one bit that actually had me laughing quite a bit, which was when Scott Glenn's character, Alan Shepard, was asked to give the sperm sample and then go to the toilet, and you had John Glenn in there, and he's like hums a lot, and he was just humming in the stall next to him, and he's like, "Can you please stop that? Can you please stop that?" And then he just started like really aggressively humming with him, going like,
Okay, knock it off in there. Okay, Glenn, I know that's you. So just knock it off, because I'm trying to concentrate in here.
Do you know how long that scene lasted?
No.
That scene lasted 1 minute and 45 seconds of just really enthusiastic bathroom stall.
I'm going to
humming.
put the whole thing into the podcast because it was fucking great.
Also, just maybe when you do that, go back and have a look at how close their boots are to the doors.
They are like nearly sticking out like the Wicked Witch of the East's feet, aren't they?
There is no way that they're doing anything in there. They're just humming. That's all that's going on.
The old straight leg play around is what they used to call it, mate, in the 60s.
I was in a constant state of nausea throughout this film because I felt like the film gave me a slight vertigo.
There were some shots that
Oh God, yeah.
a bit
all over the place, and also having to watch them do all of the like the training tasks, all of the physical. What would you call
like
it?
G-force tests and stuff.
Yeah, all the tests they had to go through,
Stress
like
testing.
swinging around. And,
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, I get really bad nausea from any type of movement. So yeah,
So
it was
the
pretty
scenes when it was shot out the front of the planes were bad for you, I take it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Some of them were pretty gross. To be
Yeah.
fair. They make your stomach hurt a bit.
I think it would actually be my worst possible career. It involves everything I hate.
Imagine seeing this in the cinema as well. That would really fuck you
Oh,
up,
I
man,
couldn't.
some of
I
those
couldn't.
shots.
Motion sickness, claustrophobia,
Death.
death. Yeah, no.
They got paid like $7,000 a year. That's fucking
Yeah, I
wild.
know. They get paid £7,000 a year.
And then
Oh,
the,
I guess
the
it is
big
the
boss
80s.
is like, well, to fix that, I'll give you all $5,000 split 7 ways over 3 years.
And I actually did the maths and worked it out, and it was like 23 a year. And the reaction they gave was
They're
like
so happy.
they just won £1 million on the lottery.
Like hugging their wives. You got an extra
They
20
were like,
quid a
oh
year,
my
man.
God! No.
Well, if you adjust that for inflation, it's about $100,000 salary.
Oh.
That's just I
But
mean,
what
that
about
is-
20 quid
yeah.
though? That still can't be much.
No, it was 500,000 split 7 ways.
I thought it was 5,000.
No,
No,
it was
500,000.
500,000. Split 7 ways.
Okay, that's fine. I thought it was like
It's
5,000
good.
because he was like they're on $7,000 a year. I thought he was like, well, I'll give you an extra $5,000 split 7.
But that was just for something else, wasn't it? It wasn't even for the main thing. I don't even know what that was
Just
for.
chucking quiche all over the place, mate. What was your change? One change to this film.
What was my change?
I
What
just
was
put
your
more
change,
of
Jeff?
of Jeff and his friend and do less. Would probably be like my
Do less of the film.
yeah.
Be less film.
Just do less, man. It was
Less
there
of
was
it.
too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely established that this film was too long.
I've written that down so many times in my notes.
Yeah, it's the
This film is too long.
It's the longest film I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It just felt longer than 3 hours, though.
I
think maybe it's also I woke up and just started watching it. Like, so it was like my whole morning was this film.
I was watching it. I was eating homemade ramen. I was having a great time last night.
That's lovely.
Maybe that's also affected how much I enjoyed myself.
Hey, what was your change, Seb?
So, this is going to sound really bad. I wanted one of them to die.
Well, one of them does, but after the events of the film.
Two of them do after the events of the film.
Oh, it's Gus, isn't it? Because I think I read about this in the trivia of the film whilst I was watching it. And I thought that was going to be like the big climax of the film was one of them, was them dying in the Apollo 1 fire, but they didn't do that. For No More Jeff, I put there would be more chimps in space and less vomit in the ocean.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
What was his actual job within this film?
He
was recruiting people.
Oh yeah.
Just recruiter is all he was.
So he had that scene where he showed them a video of all of these different options of people that he could they could choose.
I actually really liked that scene.
So they wouldn't have had. Would they have had any of the 7 people? Did he find those 7 people?
Yeah. He found.
That was his entire job.
That was his whole role.
Did he?
His name is Recruiter.
But when does he actually find those people?
He goes into the bar.
Into a bar?
In the bar where they all sit around and look at the dead pilots on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Beth, did you watch
so without
Death
him,
Wish
they
3?
I did.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Again.
Without him, they wouldn't have the men, so there'd be more chimps in space and less vomit in the ocean.
Okay, Liam, well, I can see that you've clearly
Yeah, I watched the film.
watched the film. Fucking nerd. No, I did watch the film, but major parts of it just didn't go in my brain.
Yeah. That's fully understandable.
Because it's 3 hours and 12
And
minutes
it's
too long.
Yeah.
It is a
is
long
very
film. Okay.
So what was your number, Jeff?
I mean, I can do the boring thing and say they would have got people who are actually better suited at the jobs. Because the whole thing at the beginning is they were like, please don't get pilots. Please don't get pilots to be the people.
They're unmanageable because of...
Unmanageable, too much testosterone.
Egos and shit. Yeah.
But,
They've got their own unions going on.
as Jeff said, they do have their own helmets. So... I mean, that's good.
Yeah, speaking of Jeff, mate, give us the Blumiverse.
So...
Where are we going? Take
I
us
think,
on a ride.
I mean, he's got quite clearly... Oh, God, sorry, my formula's gone wrong on the spreadsheet.
My formula.
You are such a fucking dweeb nerd hacker.
Yeah, I'm entering numbers into a spreadsheet.
Formula, no!
My formula! Just tearing out the headphones.
So, for the Blumiverse, clearly he's respected by the president at this time, right? Because he's got that access. He's being allowed to recruit people for a high-risk scientific experiment.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've not seen The Fly yet. But I've also never seen the film, so what I'm saying is purely conjecture. But I think as a high-ranking scientist, this comes not long before The Fly.
Okay.
I think at the moment he is trailing underneath other people and learning
So
things.
would you say that the last film, Threshold, was just before this? So he went from doing artificial hearts to recruiting for secret government NASA things, and then to changing himself into a flyman.
I would swap this and Threshold. I think Threshold comes after this and The Fly comes after that.
Okay.
Because the journey from artificial hearts to Flyman is, very plausible.
And where within this does he start selling pencils to prisons?
I think he did. I think he did that beforehand to get the experience he needed to be a recruiter for the government.
FaceTime. The FaceTime. He got good FaceTime. He got the moxie. He got the the time he needed in front of the people to know what it was like to schmooze.
But also, he was selling
sell
pencils to
Yeah, because he was selling
state-run
pencils,
prisons.
got his practice, and now he can be a recruiter. He can schmooze and do what he needs to do to convince people to do shit, you know?
So we are including real facts that we know for definite about the real Jeff Goldblum in amongst all of this fodder that we're getting from all of his films.
That is... The disrespect that you show us on a weekly level is unbelievable.
Beth, I need to be very clear that everything I'm saying is gospel.
But no, I don't like that because we have that one episode where...
Forget about it!
I also want to point out,
I'm not going to bring it up.
at that time, in that episode, Beth, it's mostly you saying it.
Yeah, which I don't like.
So you're trying to cover your tracks now, is that what it is?
I just don't want the listener to be left with an ambiguity that they then fall asleep and it all gets mixed up and then they go running to the newspaper. Do you know what I mean?
Beth, you're like a dog kicking dirt over its own shame.
It's big news, Beth.
It's not. It's just not.
I don't want to put out a confusing and
you
conflicting...
you're just bringing more and more light to it.
Well,
Just move on.
Okay.
yeah, moving
moving
swiftly on.
Swiftly.
I think... Have you got more Blumiverse?
No, not for now. It's fine, man.
Okay, well, we could do taglines, or
I
have you
was-
got something else?
No, give me the taglines.
Well, so I think you've only won one each so far on the taglines.
I haven't won
right?
any, I don't think.
I think you did.
I think you did,
Did I?
Beth. I think
pretty
you
sure.
won.
God, I have such low self-esteem.
I've never won anything.
I've never won anything.
I think you did. It was one of the last couple of episodes.
Okay,
I forget everything immediately as soon as I finish editing them, so I can't really tell you what it was.
that's good you can.
Um,
That sounded really creepy.
you're lucky. Right, so taglines. We have number 1, the story of the original Mercury 7.
Boring.
Number
Okay.
2, punch a hole in the sky. Or number 3, by flying higher and faster than any other man had dared before, Chuck Yeager set the pace for a new breed of hero. Those that had just one thing in common, the right stuff. Which one do you think it is?
Oh my god. Well, punch a hole in the sky is damn snappy.
It's also
Nice.
said in the film. They
Well,
do.
well, we've established that Liam does extract dialogue from the film to craft the other two taglines.
Sometimes.
But
Sometimes.
but I know that Liam
Yeah, I
watched
know.
this morning,
Frustrating.
so I don't think he wrote that really long one.
I don't think his brain could have functioned enough to write all of those words.
I mean, I'd finished it by about 12:01, so I was up and away. I was awake as fuck.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for the last one, the long one.
I might go for the last one as well.
You want to hear them again?
Not really, but maybe go on. Yeah, go on.
The story of the original Mercury 7. Punch a hole in the sky. Or by flying higher and faster than any other
Jesus.
man had dared before, Chuck Yeager set the pace for a new breed of hero. Those that had just one thing in common, the right stuff.
Well, you're
The right
laughing while you
stuff.
read it as well.
I want it to be the second one, but I think it's. I mean, actually, knowing that it failed at box office, that fact could lend itself to it being the third one because people could have just run out of steam halfway through reading that and not been bothered
Yeah.
to finish it, and then
That
been
tagline
moved
is
on
the
to the
length of the
next
film.
That tagline reflects the excruciating length of that film. So I think it's the third one.
You both go on the third one.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, I'm surprised you even fucking debated if it was the third one or not. Because that's absolutely insane.
Oh,
Why would I
God.
write that as a
Yeah, why
tagline
would you
for a
write that?
film?
Actually, you would not write that. Yeah, that's so true.
I genuinely was losing my fucking mind when I was like, tagline. That's a whole paragraph. That's longer than the actual synopsis they had above it.
Oh my god! Are you sure maybe there just wasn't a tagline, so they just had that synopsis?
I looked into it. That is it.
Oh my gosh!
And also, it names Chuck Yeager setting out the new pace just because he breaks it at the start. But then everyone just fucking buoys him off for the whole film and doing everyone else. So why is he in the tagline?
And why is he the only one that's actually in the film? Doesn't matter.
Everyone in the 80s was on crack, man.
Yeah.
More fodder facts to add to this growing pile of shit.
That's a true fact, mate.
So this is fourth.
Fourth?
It's fourth.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
Seb's fault, giving it a fucking 7 for enjoyability.
Oh, Seb, you fucked it.
I'm sorry.
This better not be above Greenwich Village.
Oh, it is, I think.
Are
By
you
2
fucking
points.
kidding me? Oh, are you kidding me? I do not. I already disagree with the order of this list. Like already, and we're only like
It's
10
a group
films in.
consensus. I disagree with how low St. Ives is, but you pick your battles, Beth.
Yeah, but
I'm
this is
upset,
pure
to be
science.
honest.
This is a scientific method.
The
And sometimes the
Complumter.
science isn't always what you want it to be.
That's
It is
true.
if you're a Scientologist.
Yeah. True, but that would also mean you're fucking mental. So it's fourth on the Linda board.
Yeah.
On the Linda board. Fourth? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh
Fourth
my
out of
god.
14, is that right?
Yeah,
It's
4 out of
fourth.
14.
Is it above Annie Hall as well?
No, Annie Hall's second, I think.
Annie
No,
Hall.
Annie Hall's down.
No. Annie Hall is 6th.
Oh, I fucking hate you.
I'm very alright with that. I'll put that in fucking 20th, mate. We haven't even got there yet.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know you love that film.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to add.
End.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to say about this.
Oh,
bad
I have
film.
one. I
Yeah.
have one other thing to say about this film.
You had a
which is-
smirk on your face there that I did not like.
It's just that there's a phrase in it that I really liked, which is someone described another guy as grinning like a possum eating a sweet potato. I just liked it.
That's
Imagine chomping into a
good.
sweet potato.
That's a nice way to round this off. I like
Ooh.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so
Thanks, Seb.
thank you very much for listening to this episode.
Thank you very much.
Means a lot.
We can be approached if for any reason you want to on Instagram at foreverinblum or foreverinblum@gmail.com.
Yeah, interact with our Instagram. We've got a thriving Instagram account.
Come
show us some love on there.
There's like 9 photos on there. Yeah, we're going to
9
be sharing
photos
some more
and
clips
60
and
followers,
other
which
things
is
on there soon.
less than my cat.
I just want to point out I did get some direct feedback about the show, adding to our theories about Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
And the feedback I was given, more of a suggestion, is that he probably smells like mint and sandalwood.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
Wait, what? Someone works for Yankee Candle and they're selling you what?
Beth,
I'm confused.
where in the world did you pull that from?
Sandalwood. It's one of those words that just
Just triggers
Unlocks.
Yankee Candle in your head.
it triggers the Yankee
That's actually
Candle.
a sleeper
corner of my
agent for the
brain.
Yankee Candle Corporation.
Yankee Candle, if you could sponsor us, that would be great because I love candles.
And you've just got to say fucking mint and sandalwood. And Beth is like, Yankee Candle, sell.
Is that like a Cold War activation phrase?
Oh, man. Yeah, so we're on there. Give the show a review and shit on iTunes if you can, because it really helps if you can rate it and review it on
5
there.
stars or above.
Yep. And yeah, that's it. Next time we're back with a film called The Big Chill. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it's about.
Do you know what?
See you then.
Sounds like a chill time.
Fuck off, mate. You want to ask Jeff anything, man?
Oh, mate, just come
You got a little
on.
message for him?
Just
Because I
join
found
us.
out, by the way, that he actively looks. Well, he said this in 2017 that he looks at the Jeff Goldblum hashtag on Instagram. So
Oh.
if you wanna say put out a statement right now, Seb, that I will then clip and put on our Instagram as like a direct message to Jeff Goldblum. Is there anything that you want to say to him? Right
Okay. I'm going to consider my words very carefully, but
now? Yeah, the floor's yours.
just come on and join us, man. Just
that
have
it?
just have a chill. No, let me.
I'm gonna choose my words very
Shit.
carefully. And then just say the sentence that you were literally going to say before I said
Yeah.
it.
Let me
You
run
know,
at
like
it.
4-second pause to explore your vocabulary,
Yeah,
and you come out with "Just come on and join us,
We
man."
can edit.
Okay, no, let me run at it again.
time.
Let me run at it again.
Yeah, take 2, man. Go. We're rolling.
Jeff, I think what you do is fantastic. We all do. Ignore most of what Beth insinuates about you.
Oh my god, why am I being demonized?
And
Why am I the bad person in this fucked up dynamic we've created?
and I would love to just have a chat. Just what do you like to eat? What do you drink? I want more information.
Fuck this, I'm not sending that to Jeff. Jeff, come on the show. Cheers, mate. See you
Thanks, bud.
See you in a couple of weeks. Bye.